What is up, everybody? I am your host and the longest reigning and current WWE pay-per-view champion of all time, the Italian God, the Italian Ace, the one you all came to see, the hot commodity, and see. And I'm joined by my good friend and co-host. Introduce yourself, sir.
What is up, everyone? I'm Christian back here again, um, talking about some Raw. Not too much really happened on this Raw. Um, not too much is really happening at all. WrestleMania, we had a really good, I feel like, road to WrestleMania. Um, and then, the day after WrestleMania, they got bought out. So it's just, I feel like the vibes at ever since the Raw at the WrestleMania, the vibes have just been all over the roof. We're currently recording 25 minutes before Raw, so hopefully tonight we see a little bit. But it's good to be here, good to talk about what happened last week because again, it's kind of interesting and weird what direction WWE is going right now.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of different stuff going on, and I'm excited to talk to you about it. Before we talk, I just want to say to all the people watching on YouTube, I'm just gonna let it out, let it be known out there. Don't laugh at my background. I didn't get a chance to clean. I know I should have, but you know what? This is the Uncensored Wrestling Podcast, and I want to report my friend here. And sometimes rooms are messy, so don't laugh at me. Don't think I'm a horrible slob. I mean, I am, but anyways. And for those of you who are listening on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Podcasts, wherever you're listening to us, check us out on YouTube because then you can see my messy room, respect, and my beautiful, gorgeous title that Christian never gets a chance to hold. Um, so yes, Christian, you are correct. We're talking about Monday Night Raw, but I do want to ask you something before we get into Raw. Something happened this week that was all over Facebook in terms of wrestling groups. I don't know if you saw it, but
I'm in a bunch
supposedly
of them, so maybe.
Vince supposedly sent out an email to
Yeah.
all of the
That Triple
wrestlers
H is
saying,
no longer, or that Triple H is head of creative that he hasn't. Yeah.
so do you think, I guess the question becomes like, okay, does that mean that that is effective today? Has it been effective since SummerSlam? Like, how long
I
has,
kind of think it. I hate to be that guy. I think a little bit of it is bullshit. And I think a lot of these wrestlers know that as well.
hmm,
Um, you can't just cut somebody's segment when you're somebody as big as Bailey right now, Seth Rollins, the Raw after WrestleMania. You can't not having guys like Ellie not on the show and just having Shane McMahon have that moment. It just feels very Brock Lesnar turning on Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes not winning it, Roman retaining it. It just feels very Vincey. We and I don't care what anyone says. I've been watching close enough. I know when Triple H is doing Raw, and I know when Vince McMahon's doing Raw, and it just looks like Vince McMahon's doing Raw right now. So I
hmm.
think that's just a cover up, maybe to for the public. Uh, but who knows, man? I don't think Triple H is gonna really say anything. He hasn't really, he hasn't really spoke too much about it. He's just been talking about the draft. We know Nick Khan doesn't really talk at all, so God knows what the fuck Nick Khan's doing. Uh, the only thing we know right now is Vince, and I don't know. I don't. If this is true, we better start seeing it tonight. Not, I don't believe it.
I agree with you. I think it's like there's a lot of speculation because, like you said, some of the endings of some of these storylines, Roman and Cody does have Vince written on it. But to be fair, maybe Triple H wants the story to continue and he doesn't want it to end there. I don't know. But I just thought it was interesting to just note that that Vince sent that out. So obviously that's so important to him to let the wrestlers know. I mean, maybe they're threatening to leave. I don't know. I mean, that just shows that there's something happening backstage. Um, but let's talk about Monday Night Raw from April 10th, 2023, live in Seattle, Washington. We start out with Rey Mysterio coming out to the ring. Rey says it's been a crazy year. I wanted things to be different, Dominic. And then Dominic comes out. Dominic says, keep my name out of your mouth. You make everything about yourself. You never cared about me. That's why I'm better off with my real family, the Judgment Day. Rey says, these selfish idiots are just using you. Dom says nothing matters unless you get what you want, just like Bad Bunny. You used him like you used me. Bad Bunny makes good songs, but when Damian Priest put him through a table, that was music to my ears. Ray then says, I spoke to Bunny last night and he said he will be back. You and Judgment Day will regret putting your hands on him. Why don't we have a WrestleMania rematch here tonight? And Dom says, I don't want to fight my father but I know someone who will. And then Finn Balor comes out. Um, Obviously, we're gonna get some kind of match at Backlash with Bad Bunny involved. Do you think we're gonna get like a 6-man tag? Do you think it's gonna be a tag, Bunny and Ray against Dom and Damien? What do you think?
What I would like to see, I would like to see a Santos Escobar, Bad Bunny, and Rey Mysterio versus Finn, Priest, and um Dominic.
I'm
Um,
still here. Go ahead.
no, you're good. In case you didn't know, at least the rumors, Finn's wife is Puerto Rican, so maybe he can do that and go out. You know what I mean? But that's what a match I would like to see. What I think's gonna happen, I think we're just gonna get Rey Mysterio and Bad Bunny versus Dominic and Damien. Um, it kind of sucks though because it would have been cool for the story purposes. Bad Bunny's from Puerto Rico. Damian Priest is Puerto Rican, uh, fully because of his parents, and so it would have been cool maybe for them to make or something. Maybe we all thought Priest was gonna get a push, maybe for like a United States run, but with Backlash kind of around the corner, I don't think that's gonna happen. Um,
I'm still here. No, I agree.
the Backlash, I just don't know why there's two pay-per-views in the in the same month, but whatever.
Well, I think part of it is to please the Saudi Arabians, right? Because they're having Night of Champions, right?
Or they want to do it. Yeah, ironically, they do it the day right before Double or Nothing.
Mm.
Ironic. WWE. That's so off topic. Sorry, but I just that's just wow. Book a Night of Champions, a pay per view you haven't done in years, just to compete with Double or Nothing. Anyway,
Well, yeah, and there's really no meaning as I fix my belt.
no,
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
but
really
like I
no
said
meaning.
about Priest, I wouldn't mind seeing a dominant and so yeah, I wish we would have got Priest versus Bad Bunny. Also, I wouldn't have mind seeing maybe a Ray versus Dom part two. But I think tag team would just make sense. So I think we're gonna see Bad Bunny and Ray versus Priest and Mysterio. But overall, this was okay. I think this isn't the best work that they've done throughout the story. Hopefully tonight I think we will see Bunny appear, maybe cut a promo. Um, I'm loving all this LWO shit, like I said, because I'm Puerto Rican as well. I love all this LW. I'm loving all the LWO shit, loving this storyline. Um, I'm just I'm really excited to see where this story ends because I don't want Dom to turn babyface ever.
Well, let's talk about the match. We got Rey Mysterio taking on Finn Balor with Dominic. Some quick notes here. Rey punches Finn in the corner, nails a low drop kick and a Hurricane Rana. After that, Ray nails a top rope Hurricane Rana, a 619 frog splash, but Finn gets his knees up. Finn rolls up Ray and gets a 2. Ray dives onto both Dominic and Finn outside. Dominic hits Ray with a chain, and Finn nails a coup de grace and gets the win. Not a lot to talk about here, but it was a very good match for the roster of having to be rewritten with the wrestlers being late to the show. Anything you want to add about the match, or what you think?
It was a good match again. Just putting guys over. I don't want to see more matches. At this point I'm ready for some
He's ready for some.
promos between these guys, and hopefully we see Bunny.
I know we got a couple more weeks till Backlash. I don't want it to be like really quick. So we see footage backstage of Lita. She's hurt. Um, Raquel and Liv Morgan find her hurt. They ask her what's wrong. Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus walk over and they're upset. Trish Stratus, I said her name completely wrong. So obviously someone attacked Lita. We'll talk about that after the match. Uh, One half the women's tag team champion Becky Lynch is interviewed, and Becky says Lita is in a medical facility. I don't know who hurt her, but when I do find out, I'm gonna kick her head off. Trish comes up, and we find out that Trish will team up with Becky to defend the women's tag team titles against Liv Morgan and Raquel. Here are some notes from this crazy match. Trish and Liv nail a double face slam. Um, Becky hits a missile drop kick to Raquel and gets a two. Trish nails her top rope hurricane ride to Raquel and gets a two count. Raquel nails a backbreaker. Liv nails a DDT to Becky and gets a two. Trish and Becky have some weird miscommunication during the match. Becky nails a diamond dust to Raquel onto Liv and gets a two. The ending comes after Trish hits Raquel with Satisfaction. Trish goes for a chick kick, but Liv rolls her up and gets a three, and we have new women's tag team champions, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. However, after the match is when the shit hits the fan. Becky helps Trish up, they hug, and then Trish attacks Becky Lynch from behind and nails her with a chick kick. I popped for this. I know you probably didn't care, but for me, I was just like, this is great heel Trish. I was so excited to see it. They're probably not going to go anywhere with this storyline. I know they're going to probably have a match at SummerSlam, but in terms of just seeing Trish, I love Trish. She's my favorite wrestler in terms of women. So to see her mix it up again, I'm excited. What do you think of heel Trish? And Sonya and Chelsea Green made a comment about this on SmackDown. Technically, Becky and Trish were never champions, so how come? I get Trish is stepping up for Lita, but technically, if you want to be, honest, Lita and Becky didn't lose the titles. So, but what did you think of the match and Trish turning heel?
I thought this match was interesting because again, I knew this was gonna happen. I mean, it's been teased so many times.
Yeah,
I think, obviously we think Trish Stratus is the one that's attacking Lita. I personally think Bailey and them were at the ring when that happened. Um, Whatever. But Trish turning heel, it's not a surprise, but it's something different. I mean, I can't tell you the last time. When the fuck was the last time the crowd booed Trish Stratus?
I know that hasn't happened since like 2005.
So, I mean, since like she first like debuted type thing, because her first WrestleMania was like what 21.
2000, yep.
Yeah. So like it was it's she still got it. She's not as good as she used to, obviously, but she still knows how to get over with the fans, whether it's her being a heel or whether it's her being a babyface. So maybe we'll get a match between these two at SummerSlam, and then Trish can finally call it a quit. But we still have to have Lita in this occasion. You just can't write her off after she got attacked. She has to, come back and do something, figure it out, whatever. But yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. I wasn't excited too much about it just because I didn't care about Trish and Lita coming back. But with Trish doing this, it kind of sets some interesting shit. And I mean, we've seen Becky fight Lita at what was it, Crown Jewel a couple
Yeah.
years ago. So
Becky fought Lita at Elimination Chamber.
Elimination Chamber. I knew it was in Saudi because they usually I forgot they did that in like the country, the other yeah. So they did that at the Elimination Chamber that one year, and maybe we can see a Trish versus Becky. But man, how cool would it be to see a Trish versus Lita one more time?
That would be
If
so great.
Trish is behind all this, what if we could? Oh, jeez,
That would be
that would be
awesome.
a
That would be a
banger
great
match,
final retirement for them.
banger. But I'm more interested in this story than I was before. But I'm gonna go
Okay.
get a I'll be right
Respect. I like that. Okay, so Trish becoming a heel is a good thing. I agree. Uh, Damage Control is backstage, and there's definitely some cracks in this team. Bailey tells Io and Dakota Kai that they will stick together, and Bailey says that she's going to be up for a title opportunity. Io and Dakota look upset, and they're like, "What about us?" And then Bailey's like, "I'll talk to Adam Pearce." So again, they're sort of hinting at the fact that they're tired of listening to Bailey, which we'll see how that plays out later on. We get our next match, Bobby Lashley taking on Bronson Reed. And this match ended in a different way, in a double count out. Here's just some quick notes. Bobby nails a clothesline. Lashley hits a neck breaker, suplex, and he goes for the hurt lock, but Bronson Reed falls on top of him and he gets a two. Lashley nails a Uranagi, the hurt lock, and they both fall outside. Lashley clotheslines Reed outside. Reed sends Lashley into the post, and they both get counted out. After the match, the two brawl until a lot of referees separate them. What did you think of this one? I mean, two big dudes going at it, but what did you think?
I mean, I'm still really disappointed Bobby Lashley didn't do anything at WrestleMania. It's kind of ridiculous. Um, they need to They need to do something with this guy. Stop putting him in bullshit feuds. Um, you know, Bob Bobby's one of those guys where he does what he's told, he does what he's asked, he doesn't bitch too much, you don't hear too much about him. At least now you know.
Yeah.
Um maybe back in his ECW days you did, but now you really don't too much. Um Man, I enjoyed his run as world champion when he was a heel. It wasn't bad work. It was good. The crowd hated him. Uh, I liked him. He had good matches against what McIntyre. Fucking, he had some really good matches. So I don't know. I wouldn't mind. Even when he was the United States champion and had his whole thing with Seth Rollins theory, even that shit was interesting, kind of. But I definitely think Lashley should be used a little better on the booking. Bronson Reed, on the other hand, he's new to the main roster. He hasn't done much. I know he's what big match has he? He was in the Elimination Chamber this year, right?
Who was?
Bronson Reed, no?
Jackson Reed. Yes, he was in the chamber, and I think he was one of the last. I think it was down to him, and I could be wrong, but I thought no, wasn't it Seth Rollins? I think it was him, Seth Rollins, and
Yeah, because Logan Paul came. Yeah.
I could
So
be wrong, but I think
no, yeah, I mean, so besides that, that was like the only good matches out of his career. Other than that, I mean, he's a big man that can do, some dives off the ropes and shit. So we'll see what they have planned for him, but I'm not too interested about him so far. I'm not too familiar with his work. I'm just gonna be honest. Don't care for NXT right now. The only guys I'm really got my eyes on for NXT from NXT are Wesley, Carmelo Hayes, and Braun Baker.
Ron Breaker. Well, let's move on here. I agree. NXT hasn't been doing it for me either, brother. Like I barely watch it, and when I do watch, I'm kind of like, it's kind of
I literally go on Peacock and watch. Shout out my main man, the champion, for letting me use his Peacock, Anthony. But I do go watch like the old takeovers from like 2019, like
they were
8.
killer. Even if you go back to like a good one that I saw was 25. I was there to see. It was a good one. But yes, it was cool to see these two guys go at it, but definitely they should have done more. Let's talk about this next moment. Cody Rhodes comes out, and Cody says at WrestleMania I lost to Roman Reigns. Put the blame on no one else but me. I lost, and I am sorry. I heard two things. My friend Matt said that the main event is all that matters. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. But Cody says the only people who say that statement are the people who have already finished their story. I also heard I had to earn the title shot again. Earn it, I am it. Our unfinished tale has a new wrinkle in it. What's more embarrassing than a rubber chicken is when a beast repays it. Um, why did Brock Lesnar do it? I heard he's unhappy about his spot on the card. My theory is that he is uncertain about the change I brought to the WWE. Why did he wait till my back was turned? When Brock Lesnar looks in the mirror, he sees a predator. I'll be as honest. Are you scared of Brock Lesnar? Yes. I'd be crazy not to be, but I still want to fight Brock Lesnar. I am so scared that I strike Brock Lesnar, that the next time I strike Brock Lesnar, the next time he looks in the mirror, he will see a prey. He will see my victim. It can be anywhere, any place, but let's do it at WrestleMania Backlash. I'm confused as to why he had a WrestleMania there, but so this is a great promo. I thought. I think he's like his dad in terms of his promo work. But this got me excited for Brock Lesnar and Cody. How about you? Are you excited for that at Backlash if it happens?
It is gonna happen.
Oh, it is gonna happen. Okay.
Isn't it? Yeah, it is gonna happen. I'm excited. It's just kind of weird that this is Vince booking.
Mm-hmm.
Go from Cody Rhodes losing the championship, winning the Royal Rumble, have all this momentum going since the second he's walked into WWE. People waited a whole year for this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knew we were getting Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes this year. And they disappointed us. And I think Vince is to blame for that because I know he's a Cody Rhodes guy. But the fact that that Brock Lesnar's in the mix when he has nothing to do with this. What the fuck does Brock? If they had maybe like
He's
Sami,
mad at his spot on the card.
it's not his fault. He refused to work with Bray Wyatt. It's his, like, he did it. He chose. I don't know what does Brock Lesnar turning on Cody Rhodes, like, how, like, I don't even get excited when I hear Brock Lesnar's music anymore when Roman Reigns is in the ring. I'm just like, oh my God, like, this is Vince. We've had this WrestleMania main event since WrestleMania 31. That was in 2019 and like 2018. I was a freshman. And now we're in 2023 and they're still getting that. This is oh my, like, we don't want to see this anymore.
Mhm.
I'm not saying I think Roman still should be champion. But just, they made Cody Rhodes look he could have lost after WrestleMania and still have his, momentum going. One loss in a year isn't gonna fuck him up. But the fact that he just looks stupid. He shook Brock's hand, blah blah, and then he just gets F5. Like, it just makes him look very, very weak. And I don't know. We'll see what happens tonight.
I don't like
But
the way they handled it, but I will
I
say I
don't
am
like the way they
excited.
did.
I do think that Cody will stand a chance. I don't think that he'll win, but I think he could stand a potential chance. Um, let's cover our next matches pretty quick because we only have a couple minutes left in here. We got Raw coming up. Our next match, we had the Usos. They defeated the Alpha Academy after they nailed a double super kick and a 1D to Gable. The Usos, it looks like they're headed for another title match. This is a good match, but what are your thoughts now that the Usos are champions?
It's kind of weird not seeing them champions. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, let's be honest. Who in that tag team divisions? You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna do what the Usos do in that tag team division? No one, no tag team is good oh my God, I can't even talk today. No tag team is as good on the mic as the Usos are. Um, they're incredible to watch. I never get bored of watching them. They're Jay's amazing. Jimmy's hysterical. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do. They don't really have anybody on that I can recall, unless you can name a tag team that you think would have it. No one's gonna have a run like the Usos did. Hell
No.
no. At least
Well,
not for a very, 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 very long time.
what's going to be weird, I think, for you is when you get to, and I hate to be more age, but like, we're in a whole new generation now of new tag teams. If you look to 2010, who's still there? Like, it's going to start to get weird as it goes on. So I mean, who knows? Maybe this generation will have a whole new Usos. Like, and it's gonna be cool too, because then, like, for me, like, I like looking, and I'm sure you can too, because you watched it when Trish was around, so it's popular. But for me, like, Trish is more um my era. So to see her come back, that's why, like, I root for her more.
Right.
So like, I think for you, and I don't want to speak for you, but it seems like the Usos were kind of your generation.
Oh, I've been watching the Usos since they debuted. They
Yeah.
were what was it? FCW, Florida Championship Wrestling. I remember when they were there. Hell yeah, I love the
So
Usos.
so
I
for
agree with you
you,
100%. That's probably why I'm not that interested in Trish Stratus and Lita coming back.
because it's not. But in a couple of years, right, when the Usos do make an appearance and they come back, because they
Oh
will,
hell yeah,
you're gonna pop like I didn't make it. Like, you're like, you
absolutely.
youngins don't know nothing about, like, and it's gonna be cool. So I think that there will be a new generation of tactics that will come up. But I do think that the Usos definitely have made their legacy. They've been champions the longest. And yeah, but this is a good match. I do think Alpha Academy, should break up soon and let Chad Gable do his own thing. But
I
let's
just
talk.
think if they're gonna do that, they need to make Otis look a little more. Otis has had these stupid gimmicks, and I've told him this to his face at the live event. I said, "You'll never be a tag team champion," and it's because you do. And I didn't obviously have, and I just told him, "You'll never be champion." But he was like, whatever. Like, I forget but he like screamed that. It was funny. It was funny. But no, seriously, he had the whole he won Money in the Bank during the pandemic era. And what the pandemic era was before the whole Thunderdome, before Roman Reigns came back, before it was anything, it was literally silent. When they were doing like those movies, you know how they did Money in the Bank like a movie? That's what it was, a movie. Money in the Bank 2020 was a movie. And Otis was just playing a funny character.
He was
No,
like
he
Mandy
was
Rose.
serious. He was
Doing the
hanging
same thing,
out.
kind of. His character is the same. He was just a different lady. He was attracted to Mandy Rose. Now he's attracted to Maxine. Like it's like the same kind of storyline, just different.
And yes, but how is he going to win Money in the Bank and not even?
Do
What the
anything.
fuck did he even do with it? Did he cash in? Did he lose? What did he
I
do?
think he lost to the Miz or something. I don't know. I don't remember.
Was Miz world champion at that time in 2020?
No, but I think they something happened where they did something where he lost it to someone, and then that person. I don't know because I don't even remember. Wasn't it? No, I'll have to look it up and see. I don't know. I
No,
know
yeah,
that
I'm
Roman was
curious.
champion, so
That just shows you that and
irrelevant it was.
he's a big guy that can do some moves. And I'm not saying maybe he's not even top mid card worthy, but you gotta at least have him in there, have him doing something that's not.
Have him do something different. Well, this is different. We have Io Sky defeating Piper Niven and Mia Yim after over the moonsault. What do you think about Io Sky challenging Bianca Belair? It's new, fresh. What do you think?
Bianca Belair is way out of her league. Bianca Belair's she's really good, really good, really good. But I think she should lose that title soon. But there's no. It depends how we'll see how this draft goes.
Yes, but I'm excited to see Io Sky versus Bianca maybe at Backlash. Um, let's talk about our main event here. I didn't get a chance to watch this, but I know what happened. Solo Sikoa defeats one half of the Undisputed Tag Team Champions, Kevin Owens, after Solo uses the Usos to distract KO, and Solo hits a Samoan spike. After the match, Matt Riddle and Sami Zayn make the save, kind of similar to what happened the past couple of weeks. No real difference here. Just Solo continues to look good. What do you think about the ending of Raw? Really anticlimactic, right?
Really, yeah, predictable. It wasn't the best ending the Raw, so no,
Really?
there's yeah.
Well, with 2 more minutes to go, what was your moment of the night here?
Just I don't. That's a
Oh,
hard
with
one.
Trish.
Nothing amazed me. Probably Trish turning heel. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. Trish turning heel. That was the only thing that really stood out to me. Cody Rhodes' promo was pretty good against Brock. So there were some things that stood out, but for the most part of it, no bueno. Well, listen, everybody, thank you for tuning in. This is a pretty short episode, but again, really not a lot's happening. We digested everything that happened. We'll be back with our Friday Night SmackDown recap. We got a lot coming your way. Thank you guys
Yeah,
for
we're
tuning in.
busy with this shit. With
Yes,
the
dude.
side.
And yeah, I mean, Backlash is coming up. Puerto Rico, your home culture will be on display. Hopefully, they'll do the Puerto Rican flags like they did when they went to San Juan and New Year's Revolution '05. Very
We got a
cool.
lot of stuff coming up. We got Backlash. We got Clash, Night of Champions, Double or Nothing. AW's nothing's really going on. A lot of stuff going on with WWE. So we're really focusing on that. But Wembley Stadium's been announced, and
Mhm.
I'll talk a little more about that at the ending on our next episode.
Well, Christian, thank you for joining me, guys. We are on the road to Backlash. Thank you for tuning in. I want you guys to stay safe and remember to always stay uncensored, which means tell someone to go fuck themselves. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.